Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. I'm just starting the recording on the YouTube. I've already done the announcement.
Okay, perfect.
All right, for the purposes of the recording, I did not start the recording prior to doing the initial announcement, but the inmates have already been informed of their rights and the purpose of this hearing. Okay, the person at the window, if you can tell me your name.
Mr. Whitehurst.
Mr. Whitehurst, right, you were reset from Monday, I believe, with a theft by shoplifting, excuse me, and a failure to appear, and you've been appointed to be represented by the public defender. Your bond was set at $1,000 on each charge. Attorney Dabney?
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with my client, he is requesting that you grant time served on the FTA due to the amount of time that he's been in custody and to bind over the theft by shoplifting charge over.
So does that mean he is pleading to the failure to appear?
That's correct, Your Honor. He would like to enter a plea on the failure to appear.
All right, Mr. Whitehurst, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the information you provide to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Excuse me. All right, Mr. Whitehurst, you can put your hand down. Did you understand the rights that I've explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand if you're entering a plea today, you're waiving or giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
You are being represented by Attorney Dabney, is that correct?
Yes.
And you've had an opportunity to speak with him regarding your charges?
Ma'am.
One of which is a theft by shoplifting and a failure to appear, where you failed to appear in court for that shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yeah.
As to the failure to appear, how are you pleading?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
Are you entering your guilty plea freely and voluntarily?
ma'am.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to enter a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I will accept your guilty plea. And according to your attorney, you're asking for your theft by shoplifting to be bound over to state court. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So again, I will accept your guilty plea and sentence you to time served on the failure to appear, and the theft by shoplifting will be bound over. Is this, I didn't look at his history, is this a misdemeanor or a felony?
It will be upgraded more than likely to a felony, Your Honor, given his history. So
All
it would
right, so
actually
this-
be a Superior Court.
This will be bound over to Fulton County Superior Court. Do you have any questions, Mr. Whitehurst?
Ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, the next person is going to be Alexander. Alexander.
How you doing, man? How you doing, Yanni?
I'm well, Mr. Alexander, how are you?
Okay.
Excuse me, 1 second. All right, Mr. Alexander. No, you're Mr. Alexandre, correct?
Alexandre, yes, correct. Correct.
Actually called Alexander, but anyway, you're fine, Mr. Alexandre. You were here also on Monday for theft by shoplifting and a failure to appear.
Yes,
Your bond was set at $2,000 and you're being represented by the public defender, Attorney Dabney.
That's correct, Your Honor. And he is wishing to enter a plea to the failure to appear, just asking for time served. And he does understand that based off of his criminal history, that the theft by shoplifting will actually be a felony. So he's requesting that be bound over to Superior Court, Your Honor, Fulton County Superior Court.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Alexandra, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the information you provide to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes,
You can lower your hand. You understand the rights that I explained to you this morning?
yes,
And you understand if you're entering a plea today, you're waiving or giving up those rights?
yes,
And you are being represented by Attorney Dabney?
yes,
And you've had an opportunity to speak with him regarding your charges?
yes,
You, of which you have two, a theft by shoplifting as well as the failure to appear, is that correct?
yes.
As to the failure to appear, how are you pleading?
That'll be a big old
I'm sorry?
guilty. Big old
And
guilty.
are you entering your guilty plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to enter a plea?
Nope, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Alexandre, I will accept your guilty plea, and as to the failure to appear, you'll be sentenced to time served. Based on your record, this theft by shoplifting is a felony, so it will be bound over to Fulton County Superior Court. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. My question is, my family trying to bond me out, today. So if I get bonded out today, will I be leaving here or, I just want to clarify, will it follow me to, Fulton County? The bond, if I get bonded today?
If you're bonding out, you'll get another notice from Fulton County Superior Court regarding your next steps. If you're still here, if you're over at Rice Street, then they'll bound you out from Rice Street. It doesn't really matter where you are. They just have to pay the bond.
Oh, yeah, I know that, but, see, reason why, cause you know, as I explained, last week, that, I just served a year, for 4 of these counts. And I'm trying to, get out and, report to my, probation officer and the, in my drug program.
Sir, I think I understood your question to ask where are they bonding you out from. It doesn't matter where you are physically. All they have to do is go to the bonding company to pay your bond.
Yeah, and then, Your Honor, I think he's just asking for clarity to make sure that the bond will travel with him. I did tell him that his bond will travel with him.
Well, yes.
Yes, that's all I want to clarify.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Attorney Dabney.
You're welcome.
Next person is Ray Brewer. Mr. Brewer, you are here on a failure to appear where you failed to appear in court for your underlying charge of theft by shoplifting, the court date being November 8th, 2021. Your bond amount is $1,000 on each charge for a total of $2,000. And you were appointed to be represented by Attorney Dabney. Attorney Dabney, did you have a chance to speak with him, Mr. Attorney Dabney?
Not yet this morning, so
Okay.
I would be speaking with him after court, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Brewer, will you be able to post bond?
I can, but it's a small shoplifting though. It wasn't that. I'm saying it was like.
Sir, that might be the case. The only question I have at this time is whether you'll be able to post bond, given the amount that I just gave you is $2,000, $1,000 on each charge.
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. If you're not able to post bond, you'll be brought back. Will this be Monday or Wednesday?
I would request Wednesday, Your Honor. I'm not going to
Okay.
be present on Monday.
All right. So if you're not able to post bond, then you'll be brought back on Wednesday, which is the 31st. All right. Any questions, Mr. Brewer?
Yeah, but I don't want to lose my stuff. I got job, everything going.
I'm sorry.
Well, I said I don't want to lose my stuff. I got everything going though. The job.
Okay. What's your question?
Now I said I don't want to lose my stuff. I don't want to be behind on my stuff.
Right. But I'm asking, I don't have anything to do with that, sir. I'm asking you if you have any questions.
I ain't buying out though. I'm gonna buying out.
Okay. All right. All right, sir. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Durante Jones, excuse me?
I get time served.
No, sir, you don't have time served. That I didn't say anything about time served on your case. Mr. Jones, you are reset from Wednesday for the false name as well as the failure to appear on a false name, and you're being represented by Attorney Dabney.
And that's correct, Your Honor. I did have a chance to speak with my client, and we would be requesting a probable cause hearing on this case. And I have spoken with his mom, so they might be able to post a bond, but I would have to speak with her first. But just for abundance of caution, just set this for a probable cause hearing.
All right. All right. Ms. Cheater, would that be Wednesday, May 31st?
No, it'll be June 5th.
June 5th?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mr. Jones, you heard your attorney after you spoke with him. You're going to have a probable cause hearing, and the date for that hearing is going to be June 5th. If you bond out, you'll need to make sure you keep in touch with your attorney, okay? Do you have any questions? Sir, I need a verbal response. I'm sorry? Can you sit back for me? Do you have any questions? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Darius Mills.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Mills. Mr.
Morning.
Mills, you have 5 charges: armed robbery, hijacking, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Those are state charges for which this court does not have any jurisdiction. Is there a warrant? Didn't see a warrant on this, Ms. Cheater. Let me double check. It's not sure. Officer Machad, Sergeant Machad, are you here on this case?
I am.
Okay,
There is warrants, Judge.
okay. I didn't see him in the system.
We don't have copies of Sergeant Machad.
You want me to bring them down to you right quick?
Yes, thank you.
All right, after we're finished with court.
Got you, Judge.
So Mr. Mills, there's no bond set on this case. This is going to be bound over to Superior Court. I did not see any application here for a court-appointed attorney, so you are moving forward representing yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have questions?
When it comes to a charge like this, okay. This charge was brought upon in East Point, March 5th. My mom's birthday was March 5th. I was in Carrollton, Georgia. I have all my proof. I have my phone records, my pictures from that morning all the way to that night. I honestly don't even know where these charges came from. Is there any way I could put my proof in front of somebody so they could see what's going on? I have witnesses, my mama, my grandma, my sisters. I have everything I need. I don't even know why I'm sitting here. I don't even stay in Georgia. I stay in Carrollton right now. I'm just trying to figure out where the charges come from. They tell me about it when I first came in on Wednesday. But they say they don't have nothing but somebody saying I did this, that, and the third. But I got proof of where I was on March 5th. I was in Carrollton, Georgia.
All right, Mr. Mills, there are warrants on this case. That's information that you can provide to your attorney once you, if you're going to have an attorney or once you get over to Fulton County.
All
right, any other questions?
No.
All right, Officer, well, hold on. Officer Machad, is there anything that you needed to present?
Nothing more than bringing down the arrest warrants to the clerk.
Okay. All right, and Mr. Mills,
Huh?
I was just making sure you didn't have any other questions.
Nah, I'm straight.
Okay, thank you. Gregory Murray.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Murray, okay, Mr. Mills, you had your time and you need to let everyone else be sure that they can hear what's going on their case, okay? Thank you. All right, Mr. Murray, you're here on a criminal trespass, damage to property, where you have a bond of $1,000. Are you going to be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. If you are unable to post bond, then you'll be brought back on Wednesday, May 31st. Do you have any questions?
Can I get out today? If I post bond, I can get out. Yes, ma'am. Can I get out
Yeah.
today? If I post bond?
You'll be released after processing once you post bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
No, ma'am. That'll be it.
Okay, thank you. Jarvis Thomas. Mr. Thomas, you're here on a disorderly conduct and terroristic threats. Don't see a bond set on these. They're state charges. Your bond is going to be 2,000 on each charge for a total of 4,000. Will you be able to post bond? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Let me look at one moment, sir. The bond on the terroristic threats actually is going to be 5,000. I believe there's a weapon involved.
Wasn't no weapon involved, wasn't nothing there.
Okay,
You're not guilty on that charge.
that's fine. Will you be able to post bond?
Yes.
And I don't see any application, so you're representing yourself?
No, I need a one appointed attorney, like,
I didn't hear you.
I need an appointed attorney and a lawyer.
Okay, you're going to have to fill out the application.
Okay.
All right. Any questions?
Say the bond is 5,000 and
7,000,
7,000. Okay.
correct. You're welcome. And let me back up on this one. Mr. Thomas, I'm going to do special conditions on your case to stay away from, I believe this was Family Dollar,
Yes.
and no weapons. You're not to get in possession of any weapons.
I don't like weapons. My mom got killed, and I just lost a son in February by the weapon. I do not like weapons, period. They
I
got
didn't hear
killed.
you.
I said, my mom got killed by a gun, and my son got killed by a gun in February. I don't like guns.
Okay,
So I know she lied about that.
all right. Well, Mr. Thomas, do you understand the special conditions?
Yes, I understand.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, man.
Okay, thank you. I should put no further contact with those persons. Mr. Thomas, I apologize. Mr. Thomas, Jarvis Thomas, I apologize.
I don't even stay over there where you put it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I'm adding 3 conditions. Stay
Okay.
away from Family Dollar, no further contact with those, I believe there were 2 people involved, and then no weapons.
One person involved, no 2 people.
Okay, there are 2 people listed, I believe.
I knew it.
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
No.
And I already did Whitehurst. Is there anyone there who I have not spoken with? If so, come up to the window. I think I spoke with everybody in there.
Yeah, Sean, I believe that was all the mail.
Okay, I'm just waiting for, I believe we have 2 female.
Yes, that's what I'm showing them.
If you guys could stand up and line up at the door so that they know you're ready to go out.
I'm going out to make a little business too, please. You know me.
Yes,
If I'm going out, I come at a couple wins too.
you'll have a court date on your ticket, on the citation. You'll get a copy when you're released.
I said, if I don't bond out, I come back against you.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you don't bond out, yes, you'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you. And that's Mr. Thomas.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, then never mind. Ms. Cheater, can we make sure that Mr. Thomas gets the this application for court appointed? You're on mute, but I believe you said yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Thomas, you're gonna need to make sure you fill out that application, okay?
Okay.
All right, good morning. I'm going to make a brief announcement before we get started. I am Judge Pitts. You have certain rights. You have the right to an attorney. And I believe both of you have filled out the application and been appointed to be represented by Attorney Dabney. You do have the right to a trial. At your trial, you have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the city might bring to testify against you. You have the right to bring your own witnesses, and you have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the absolute right to remain silent and to know that your silence will not be held against you. Today, you're here for a first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give your next court date. You also have the right to a probable cause or preliminary hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims or witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard, and the court at that time will determine whether it's more likely than not. Well, first of all, whether there was a crime that was committed, and then whether it's more likely than not that you are the person who committed the crime. If the court finds that there is probable cause, the case moves to the next step. If there is no probable cause, then the charges are dismissed. All right, ma'am at the window, can you tell me your name? Young lady at the first window.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, Dr. Hines.
I'm sorry? What's your full name? I can't make out what you're saying. Can you sit back for a second?
You want me to switch seats?
No, ma'am, you stay right where you are. You don't need a phone. I just need you to sit in a certain position because the microphone needs to pick up what you're saying. Tell me your name.
Rashawn Hill.
Rashawn Hill. Okay, Ms. Hill, 1 second. You have one charge of disorderly conduct where you have a $1,000 bond. I'm sorry, am I speaking with who is Rashawn Hill? Young lady at the window, the first window with I guess you have braids, I'm not sure. Not you, ma'am, it's the other lady I'm talking with.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your name?
Aminata Hines.
All right, Ms. Hines, you were here on Wednesday and reset to today on a disorderly conduct with a $1,000 bond, and you were appointed to be represented by Attorney Dabney. Attorney Dabney?
Yes, Your Honor. This is my client. We did have it reset so I could see if she would be able to post bond and to also reach out to her mother. Her mother is present at the courthouse. I believe they have her set up on one of the screens. She's walking to the camera now. After having a deep conversation with her and my client does suffer from mental health issues, Your Honor, of depression, anxiety, and I believe defiant behavior disorder. Her mother is a psychologist, so she this is her field of work. So she has been putting together a treatment plan for her to be able to get into to get reevaluated, because we believe that this incident happened because she is not on the correct meds, or her meds needs to be reevaluated and need to be updated to make sure that this behavior does not happen in the future. So at this time, I would be asking for a signature bond just so her mother can be able to get her into the facility. I did talk to my client this morning. She has no objection to voluntarily going into the facility, or at least going into Grady to get reevaluated and to get back on the correct meds. And her mother, again, is present, so you can ask her any questions that you may need to ask her in regards to this case, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, you're Ms. Hines?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the information you provide to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You can lower your hand. I just heard everything Attorney Dabney said, and you are in agreement with those statements and comments?
Yes.
Is there anything that you want to add?
Yes, I need to add that Aminata is displaying extremely unstable mental condition. She is experiencing mania. She normally is very subdued and depressed. Her psychiatrist just changed her meds 60 days ago. And with that, she has been experiencing severe hypersexual activity, not thinking logically, and she's extremely delusional. We have had several interventions for family members, everybody trying to work with her to talk sense into her. East Point Police Department has been to the home over the last week approximately 8 times. She's going out of the house at 4 a.m. in the morning, no shoes on, ringing doorbells of neighbors. They're calling the police. She also, for 4 hours in the rain, was going to neighbors begging for cell phones and devices to use. When I found out what was going on, my only way of punishing her was to take the internet and the cell phone away, and she will not accept that punishment. She's threatening me. I live behind locked doors in my bedroom. She broke into my bedroom to attack me to get a code for the phone. Along with when I called the police, left the home because I felt unsafe. I'm outside in the car. I go back into the house. She at this time had my back door wide open, had already called a young man to come to the home. She's displaying on internet, asking for sexual favors and giving my home address for people to come, and also using money. She has paid over $1,000 to men to come and have, I just don't want to say it, acts with her. Right now, she is not thinking properly. She is a threat to herself. She's a threat to me in my home, and she's a threat to the community. So she needs to be somewhere where she can have her condition can be reevaluated, and she can get back on that med that the doctor was trying to ease her off of. Right now, she's on only one med, and we didn't realize that the other med was impacting her as much. They rely on self-reporting, where she tells them how she's feeling, how she's doing, and she has not reported. The doctor said she changed her med, has been calling every week. What's going on? Any change in behavior? And I'm reporting what Aminata is reporting to me. So I just found all of this out 5 days ago, and she has gone to the extreme violence. I mean, breaking in, stealing my house when I left, ransacked my bedroom, my office, my garage to find money and to get out.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Dabney, well, let me ask this question. I heard you say she's a threat to you, the community. So it sounds, do you feel safe with her being at home?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I left, like I said, the other night, I left the house when the officers did not. They had already been to the house 3 times in one day. And the last time I just left because she was, I am in my bedroom pleading for her. And she's saying to me, I'm going to come in. I need that code. That's what she just kept saying.
What is the, I guess, how far along are you with respect to getting her into a facility? What is the plan with that?
So the plan is her psychologist is saying that he can do a 1013. So we're right now looking for a facility this is nothing new. Last year, the same thing happened, but it was with pornography, right? Same violence. She was taken out of the home and placed in the DSS custody. But normally what works, if she goes to the hospital, they can evaluate, and then from there, she'll be sort of put on the top of the list to get into a facility. Right now, the danger is when I am trying to report everything, everybody listens to what she's saying, and then they say it's a parental issue. So she says, no, I'm telling them factual detail what's going on, and that she was just at Brady 2 days ago. And so
you don't have any time frame within which she'll be getting into a facility?
I can report back to you today. I'm placing calls and working to try to get her into a facility. So the best course of action would be to have her to go to Children's Hospital, and then they can help me speed the process up. But as a parent, it's hard to just put her into the facility without the assistance of the emergency, her going directly to the emergency room.
All right, Attorney Dabney, anything you want to add or any questions you have for Ms. Hines?
No questions, Your Honor.
Well, based on her statements and testimony, I'm not inclined to do a signature bond.
Okay.
She says she's not feeling safe in her own home.
Understood, Your Honor, but and I get everything that you're saying. It's just this case, my client is willing to go directly into any facility, even if it's just Grady, just to get reevaluated. With her just sitting in jail, I don't see how that can be any help to her. And with her being in jail, it would have to be voluntary. When I spoke to her this morning, she stated that she would voluntarily go. So I don't know if there's a way that we can just order that she goes straight there, or how we can do, because I do not want her to be released directly to the street. That's
So
not
my
what
question to you would be, how do you intend to get her from East Point to Grady or whichever facility? Because Grady may release her to the streets after 24 hours.
understood.
And
I
then
guess
the
I would-
question is, where would she go after that?
That's a good question. I would have to probably talk with her mother, because until she's been evaluated, I understand her mother is probably not going to want her to stay at the house because she does not feel safe. So it might be something that I need to keep working on my part, Your Honor, to make sure that she gets the help that she needs and is not released directly to the street, so we're not seeing her again on more serious charges.
Yes. Ms. Hines, I heard you say you can get back with the court later today, but you would need to actually communicate with Attorney Dabney, and he can go through the process and let us know what you've done. If you're able to get her into a facility today, we can look at getting an order for her to be transported from the jail to that facility, either by private or this, we'd have to look into Attorney Dabney, how that would take place.
Your Honor, her psychologist is recommending, he said he would do a 1013 for her to go directly to Children's Hospital because she was just at Grady and she was able to convince them that there's nothing wrong with her. So I know that when she went several times last year, when she went to Children's Hospital, they were able to then take her from there and transfer her directly to a facility.
Okay. One moment, ma'am. We would just need to get whatever order. If he's going to do that, we need to have copy of that. So again, you would need to communicate with Attorney Dabney to see what is going on with the case. I apologize, Ms. Dia Hines. What? Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay if I can say something, please?
You are represented by Attorney Dabney, and you should have already spoken with him, did you not?
I did speak with him before the call, but
One moment, Attorney Dabney.
Yes, I am. I just want to let you know that this call is being recorded right now. So anything that you're saying is going to be recorded and can be used against you in this case. So I don't want you to talk about anything about the facts of the case. If it's anything in regards to treatment plans or any things that you think will be appropriate in your case, you can speak to that and that alone. Okay.
that's what I was going to address.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So my mother said something along the lines that I need to be in a 1013 for Grady Hospital. Is that correct?
She said your psychiatrist was going to do a 1013. Yes, ma'am.
So a 1013 in particular is for suicidal ideation, correct?
Miss Dia Hines, I don't know that you want to go any further with this line of comments. Your psychiatrist would be the person who would make the determination of whether it's qualified, and then the court will determine whether to sign that or not. It would not be this court, it would be a different court.
Okay, I understand.
All right. Attorney Dabney?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you so much. And I'll be in touch with our mother as well as my client too. And then once we come up with an appropriate solid plan, I'll bring it back to the court, Your Honor.
That's fine. And you can reach out to me anytime today. I'll be available.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Thank you, Your
welcome.
Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Hines, was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think I have explained everything. And again, Your Honor, this is about trying to keep this young lady safe. And I know this call is recorded, so I'm not going to go into the details of everything that's happened, but she is in dire danger for her safety and what she has done. So my goal here is not about me, it's trying to keep her safe. We all know that in Georgia, sex trafficking is major. And I have to keep myself and herself, trying to keep herself safe, but me safe in my own home. And she has demonstrated that with the door open and all of this stuff, that I am not safe in my home with her there.
Thank you. Ms. Dia-Hines, based on testimony and statements of your mother, Ms. Hines, I am not inclined, as I stated earlier, to give you a signature bond, mainly because you wouldn't have any place to go. Your mother is not wanting you to come back to the home based on her fear and her fear for herself as well as for you, your safety.
Your Honor, can I not stay in a group home or like stay with
Unless
her?
you, ma'am, you don't have a group home to go to. Right now, you have no place to go besides home, which is not some place that you can go. So your attorney is going to be working out something, between your mother and your attorney, they're going to work on your behalf to get you into the proper treatment or facility that you need to have, okay? All right, thank you, ma'am. If you'll switch seats with Ms. Hill.
And Attorney Dabney, I'll just reset it for Wednesday.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And if anything else changes, I'll let you know.
Okay. Ms. Hines, just so you know, she's still here. She'll be brought back on Wednesday. But again, if you would please keep in touch with Attorney Dabney.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And you may be excused. Ms. Hill, one moment. All right, Rashana Hill, you're here on a disorderly conduct with a $1,000 bond. Will you be able to post bond?
Have not my mother already done it yet? Has anybody done bail with me?
I don't know, ma'am. That's why I'm asking you. Will you be able to post bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you've also been appointed to be represented by Attorney Dabney. You probably had not had a chance to speak with her, Mr. Dabney.
Not yet, not this morning, Your Honor, but I'll speak with her after court.
All right, Ms. Hill, if you are still here, meaning you were unable to post bond, you'll be brought back on Wednesday, but Attorney Dabney will speak with you later today, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any questions?
I just feel like I was wrongly accused.
Well, I'm asking if you have any questions.
Like about procedure, Ms. Hill.
Did anybody come get me out here?
I'm sorry?
Did anybody bond me out here?
Once again, ma'am, I would not know the answer to that question. You can talk with your attorney later today, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, I believe that concludes our calendar today.
Yes.
Right. Let me stop the recording. Anything further, Attorney Dabney?
Nothing further on this calendar, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Then let me just make sure. I did see one person, Miss Alexander, but also saw the order in there where she was released because her probation was paid in full. Attorney Ghost. Okay, all right. All right, well then we are adjourned for the day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
Call somebody. I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody.
Ma'am, as we just said, you were just appointed to Attorney Dabney. He will speak with you later today. Okay? I'm sorry?
Not my family, ma'am. I can't speak.
I don't know anything about your family. You can ask the officers if you can make a phone call.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you, everyone.
No problem. And Judge Pitts, the 3 bondovers are already in courtware, and I'll do up the order and email it to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.